Good morning, YouTubers and readers of the Wishbone article. This is your buddy Choppadong coming at you once again with a Week 9 rewind and recap video. If this is the fastest way you like to get your information, click the like, click the subscribe button, get it as soon as it drops. It dropped last night, so hopefully you're waking up to a good night in DFS NFL. Let's review the week. We're going to cover Week 10 here a little bit too, target certain games. We'll talk about them, at least our first impressions. That's what the Wishbone does. We'll talk a little chalk talk and stuff, but if this is the way you like your information, I'll give it to you both ways. First and foremost, let's run through last week's winners. If I scroll up here into the DFS Army and go back a little ways, our boys post their winners. We are proud of our winners here. If you like people bragging on you, by all means, that's what we're here for. This was an MMA cash by our fearless leader, $1,600. Not so bad, huh? Yep, booyah. Thanks, Army. Think I found my home. Awesome ladder. This is an NBA ladder, but ladders work. There's a nice win there in the NBA for $3,000. We've got winners of all sizes here. Some people win $20, some people win $3,000. We've got a $150,000 winner already this year. We've got a $50,000 winner this year. We got three guys going to King of the Beach in the Draftkings qualifiers. Guys, the Army's for real. Absolutely for real. Covers all sports: MMA, baseball, basketball, hockey. You'll see here in a minute. But you look here, you got a guy winning $100, and Doug Martin cost him money. Winning money here, not bad for a Sunday. Winning money here, that's Domination Station at work. The DS, our optimizer, is phenomenal. Here's a PGA win, $1,300. That's not so bad, huh? The ladder works. Yes, it does. More winning, more winning. Look at all these shots in the green. When you look on the leaderboards out there in the industry and you see our Army helmets everywhere, if it were me, it'd make me want to go see what all the noise is about and see this shit has to be too good to be true. And then, of course, I'd come inside, I'd talk to the coaches. They'd teach me a little bit about the fundamentals of building DFS, managing my bankroll, and organizing contests to structure the way that I build my lineups for me, customized. Then, oh my God, I'd be hooked. This is my own ladder. I'll show you that one here in a little bit. It had Leonard Fournette and LaShawn McCoy in it, still cashed. So anybody that played me on the Thursday through Monday slate should absolutely be embarrassed that I basically got 3 points out of both my stud running backs and I still cashed on you. Hello. Doesn't make me great, makes me damn lucky. 3 nights in a row, DS absolutely killing it. Here we go with more cashes, more cashes. We come down into today. There's fantasy draft. There's a couple $100 won there. 5 into 25. This is the hockey one I was telling you about. 5x return ain't so bad. Ladder sweep, 18 into $50. Hard to beat it. 21 into 90. This is everyday work a day type stuff. $5 into $40. If your win rate is not doing this, first ladder and it's a winner. I remember Healy here telling us that he was going to try the ladder system, and boom, worked like a champ. Textbook ladder up. Telling you, this stuff works. More ladders in fantasy draft over there. So the bottom line is, it just works. If you jump into mine, I will show you that out of my ladders this week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I ran 5 ladders. Well, in 27, out 58. But if I click on this one and walk through this one cashed everywhere. This is a ladder sweep. It even got into the 100-man league, the top 12. Got in there at 6th place or so. Did well. Ended up going in for about 60, out for about 110, so not quite double on everything because I did have one ladder crap out. But, you know, what are you going to do? When you cashed in 100-man in NFL, you had yourself a damn good day with that lineup. This particular lineup hit some cash in some places, hit a triple up. This one bricked off. That sucked. That was the one that really dudded me out. This one only hit the triple up, and this last one hit only the triple up and quintuple up. It did not get into the top 12, barely missed by, 7 points. So, what are you going to do? That's just really and truly every day in the DFS Army. That's what we do. I'm a coach and contributor in there. My name is @Choppadong out on Twitter. You can find me under the same name inside the DFS Army. I'm always in here helping new guys get rolling, helping intermediates get connected with the right experts. It's just what we do. We love teaching. We love helping out inside the industry. I don't know how else to put it, guys. You hear me talking about it all the time. Let's jump to results from last week. We'll work our way backwards. We always go quarterback to kicker. Let's go kicker to quarterback this week. A lot of the chalky names. Lambo was in a good spot. Elliott was in a good spot. A lot of people like Vinatieri. Will Lutz disappointed me a little bit. What are you going to do? When we run down to the defenses, nothing really blew up and got 20 points or anything, but a lot of them got 10. out of these, Cardinals were a little bit chalky depending on who you listen to. Saints were definitely too cheap for the situation they were in. It didn't matter if you had Jameis Winston or Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing at you. You had a team that was going to have to throw, and they were turnover prone, and the Saints have already had some big games, and somehow FanDuel priced them at 4,500. I really hope you took advantage of that spot because that was easy value, easy money. Texans, Jaguars, of course, people are keying on them. People will be keying on the Rams. I mean, a lot of people had good points. Even the Colts at league minimum, 4,000, had themselves a good day. I ran a lot of Colts last week, too, just because I needed to save the money. Tight end snuck up on me a little bit with Julius Thomas and Jared Cook both going off the other night. Julius Thomas was never going to be on my radar. He just isn't seeing the workload this year. He had himself a hell of a day. I guess the Oakland thing with they suck against tight ends panned out. You could have played that narrative, and it would have had a basis to it if that's why you were doing it. Travis Kelce was the chalk play. Ingram is a chalk play. Trey Burton was a late pivot off of Zach Ertz that everybody ran to. I don't think that the guy was as good a play as everybody thinks because he was in a committee with Brent Seelick, and that took a lot of his production away. But at the cheap price on DraftKings, he was certainly worth it. He got in the end zone. He justified your value. Honestly, in my opinion, bailed your lineup out. Jack Doyle, it's all right. Didn't get in the end zone, but had himself his normal, 8, 9, 10 targets from Jacoby Brissett. That's his favorite target. And that kind of rounds out the tight ends. Wide receivers, T.Y. Hilton was an obvious play. Way too cheap at that price. Robert Woods, a lot of people liked him, so good on you if you did. I didn't, for whatever reason. I just don't trust Rams receivers, but he definitely came through. Doug Baldwin, last week was P-Rich, this week was Baldwin, next week will probably be P-Rich. It's the way they seem to go is back and forth. Terrence Williams showed up finally. DeAndre Hopkins, pretty standard, but a lot of people were off of him because of his price tag and the fact they lost Deshaun Watson, as you should have been, but had himself an okay day anyway. He was awfully pricey for only getting you 17, 18 points. Demaryius Thomas finally showed up. Cole Beasley, dude, if he gets you one touchdown, he's going to get you two. He has a really weird way of either being completely boom or bust. For a little bitty slot PPR type guy that you'd think is his role in the offense, he is really boom or bust. I don't even try to predict him anymore, so he doesn't bother me when he bounces around. Julio Jones, you suck. I know that he had 14 points at 8,000, whatever, you still suck. The guy, he dropped a big old long wide open. He's just a schmuck. I would stop playing that guy. I would get off of him forever. Amari Cooper too. The industry pisses me off. All these guys talk about these guys like they're safe, and they're telling you how talented they are. Yeah, they're talented. Of course they are. But DFS is about results, and these guys ain't bringing consistent results, so get them the hell off your radar. If they go off, so be it. The problem with the Julio Jones is since everybody still loves playing the dude, then when he goes off, it kind of hurts you because he was kind of a chalky pick, but more often than not, he's kind of like the Thursday fade. Let everybody else play him. You stay off of him. When he duds out like he usually does, then you win and everybody else is pissed off. I'd rather everybody else be pissed off where I can sit back on my little throne and go, you suck. That's just the way I like to do things. Tyreek Hill, Ted Ginn, have yourselves a day. Running back, the other one in here. Where's Dez Bryant? Not on the first page. This dude gets locked up by some. If you're an above average corner, you can shut Dez down. I don't care what anybody says. Dez Bryant, worthless. Worthless. Everybody thinks he's some great receiver, some dominant force in that Dallas offense. They don't throw to him that often. He sucks. Get off him. His price is way too high on name cachet alone. He's a Cadillac and a shiny new toy, or a shiny old toy in his case. And really and truly underneath, he's a rust bucket. So get off of him. Alvin Kamara had himself a nice little day. Corey Clement came out of nowhere. Todd Gurley was chalky. Came through. McCaffrey, chalky, came through. I mean, Carlos Hyde, Buck Allen, Adrian Peterson. Let's talk about him for just a second. Adrian Peterson sucks too. And I know this sounds all negative all of a sudden that I'm going through this, but Adrian Peterson ran for 150 freaking yards, 37 carries. And everybody thinks that was some great performance. And it was for a dude who's older than dirt. I bet you that dude's popping Advil like they're Pez this morning. That dude is hurting for certain. 33, 37 touches, whatever the hell it was. Absolutely bonkers for a dude his age. That's all they got. And I know they're going to jam it down your throat, but if he doesn't score, he doesn't catch passes. If he doesn't score, it's only yardage. I bet he ran for 157 yards. He doesn't catch passes, and if he, oh, look at that. He did score a touchdown. Look at me. What a moron. How did he end up getting 15? He ran for 150 supposedly. But anyway, if he doesn't get in the end zone, it doesn't help. The bottom line is at 15.7 points and at $6,800, he didn't help you. He didn't get you more than 16, 17 points. Why? Because he doesn't catch passes. He didn't get in the end zone often enough for his price. You need this dude to do more damage. Look at all these guys that did better work at cheaper prices. The only one way more expensive was Gurley. Everybody else was at his price or cheaper. So you may think you're all slick by playing Adrian Peterson, and you may think you had some great day. You really didn't. All these other guys whooped his ass. Sorry. It's just not a surprise to me that Adrian Peterson was just kind of okay. Whatever. I won't play the guy anymore. I don't need to. He's going to bring you more disappointment than he's going to bring you good performance like that. He had to run for 150 yards and a score just to even get close to value. Yeah, that's asking an awful lot of a 33-year-old dude. It isn't going to happen often, so use your brain. Fade him more times than you don't. As far as quarterbacks are concerned, Jared Goff, it's not all of a sudden some great play. Jared Goff had a day. Good for him. Russell Wilson did well. Dak Prescott did well. Carson Wentz against Denver just demolished them. This was a telling performance. This was so telling. Jay Cutler finally showed up. Cam Newton had an okay day. Jacoby Brissett for this price did well. Alex Smith disappointed me a little bit. Drew Brees disappointed me again. I mean, man, I might not put Drew Brees if he wasn't in a smash spot last week. I don't know what kind of spot he's ever going to get. I mean, he didn't kill your lineups, but he didn't do as good as he was supposed to. So what are you going to do? Anyway, let's put week 9 to bed. Let's move on to week 10. What we're going to do real quickly, I'm going to tell you where I'm going to be targeting my players. I look for green. I love green. I look for red over here for my defenses, green over here for my offenses. When I look for spreads and I look for totals, I'm looking for big totals and sometimes big spreads. But what I really like is this 50.5 and a 3-point spread. Love Atlanta and Dallas. Now, personally, I think that doesn't make sense to me. Atlanta's a little off offensively this year, and Dallas has been playing a little bit better defensively this year. So I know they're going on the road. Unless there's some kind of a trap game where there's a big game for them in week 11, I just don't know how this one's going to really shoot out with Atlanta bringing up their end of the weight. I see it being another week for Dak and for Zeke if he plays. If Zeke doesn't play, it throws a whole monkey wrench in the works. Who the hell knows? But I don't mind targeting the Dallas offense. I guess on paper we can target Atlanta. The LA Rams, I'm 12-point spread, 46-point total, and it gives them almost a 30. How many touchdowns is Todd Gurley going to get next week? Better be a lot. Let everyone chase Goff. Let everyone chase Robert Woods. Stay on Gurley. Game flows pointing to Gurley. And the defense with a turnover-prone, potentially Houston offense coming into town. So, yeah, it's a great correlation play right there. That's going to be a chalk correlation play. Gurley in the defense. Looking up here, Pittsburgh's in an okay spot. But Pittsburgh's on the road. I know Indy sucks, and Indy's secondary is terrible. But we all know Ben sucks on the road, and we know that Le'Veon had a bad week 2 weeks ago on the road. We don't know where to go, what to trust, what to do. So I don't know if I can trust that yet. I'm going to need a lot more information, a little bit more time. I'm looking through here, and I just don't see a lot else. New Orleans going into Buffalo. We know what's happened when teams have gone into Buffalo. They come out flat. They don't have really, really good games. So I don't see New Orleans doing this. I do see Buffalo being competitive. Might not be a bad spot to play the Buffalo defense against Drew Brees and hope he throws some picks. Detroit and Matt Stafford territory again. We're going to have to see how they play on Monday night to really know what they're going to do against Cleveland. I don't trust Eric Ebron. This is normally a tight end, just pick on him spot. Here's my tight end next week. Minnesota's going to be one. Gronk's going to be the other because Denver sucks against tight ends, and so does Washington. I know Baltimore's not good against them. Baltimore might be on a bye if I'm looking for them. I don't see them. I know Cleveland's a pick on the tight end spot. I know Oakland is. Looks like Oakland might be on a bye, so I don't see them. But I'm scanning really quick here to keep the things moving. The Jets' offense against this Tampa Bay defense. I mean, is Robbie Anderson or Jermaine Kearse actually a play, and a Josh McCown possibly? Looking down here, Leonard Fournette's back in action against the Chargers. At home, 4-point spread, 22 points. Leonard Fournette should get a couple of those. Looking down a little bit more, we already talked about some of these. How putrid is this matchup? Hey, Miami, you win the Suck Award because you're only implied to score 15 points next week. You're under Cleveland. Vegas thinks you're not going to score as much as Cleveland. That's just gross. Carolina at home. Maybe Cam Newton's a play, being that he rushes a little bit. I know they're not going to use him to run the clock out, but he might get you the points along the way, and out of these, he might throw for one and rush for one. Might be a nice little chalky play on that Thursday through Monday slate. I've noticed that a lot of people don't tend to run that Monday night game at the very, very end of that slate. So if you can find yourself a good matchup, and don't get me wrong, this is not necessarily it, but if you can find yourself a good matchup, it's not bad to pick up that Monday night hammer when it looks like it might pan out, because you can really sneak up the leaderboards on a lot of people, and that's fun to watch yourself do. Anyway, That's a little bit of brief chalk talk. I mean, I know we're going to see Brady and whatever. For the rest of it, tune into the Wishbone. If this is the fastest way you like getting your information, that's great. If not, read the article and skip this video, in which case you don't even hear me talking. But the main thing is the coaches and contributors inside DFS Army are here for you to help you get to be a better player and teach you what you need to learn to make yourselves a competitive and better player. So jump into dfsarmy.com, use the link in the description of the tab, and of course, my link, my code CHOP, CHOP, for a 20% off discount for the lifetime of your subscription. Lock in your price now from $35 down to $28. That discount, friends don't let friends pay retail, and that $28 locks in no matter what our prices do in the future, as long as you maintain your membership. So do that now. Jump in for the week's content that's going to start rolling out. Our NBA optimizers on fire. Our NHL content is very, very good. You saw NASCAR winnings. You saw basketball winnings, you saw MMA winnings, you saw PGA winnings, 4 and 5 figure winners almost every week coming out of DFS Army. Honestly, could be you. See you on the inside.